Okay, so I'm prepping to leave for a day and a half, and I want to like clean and everything, so I'll be hitting up some pain points. Like that stuff will be put away. I will be switching out my son's t shirt of the next couple days, cleaning up a bit of the top of my dresser, the like collection of boxes that I have will also be put away. I will also be putting some of the the jars of litter that are empty into the recycling. I was actually gonna keep them for like cosplay purposes, but I will get more because I have a cat. Over here, it's not much for me to do. I'm just gonna take that like jar of Utz party mix and clean it out so I can put his dry food in it. I'm gonna put those Walgreen items away. And that's it. It's not gonna have some like magical transformation in my room. I'm just gonna neat things up. I'm also gonna cook for myself for when I get back so that I'm not tempted to, order out. And since I'm only gonna be gone for like a day and a half, I could just put the food in the fridge instead of putting it in the freezer. I will be washing my hair because I look a hot ass mess. Doing some self care, aka actually putting on the ointments that I need to be putting on because I have eczema, and that shit be all over my face, and it's uncomfortable and whatnot. I will probably also be making cookies and or some other baked good to bring with me back home to New York this time because, as you can see over there, my beautiful baby, the apple of my eye and love of my life, aka my bestie. She hasn't had anything I cooked since I graduated high school, and that was 6 years ago. So I need to fix that. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Also, look what the fuck my son did. Disrespectful. But yeah, I will also be doing my goals, like looking into the goals I set in the beginning of the year and where I'm at now. Now, I don't think I made like actual like written down goals. I'm pretty sure my mood board was what my goals were. And I'm going to be dealing with that tomorrow. TLDR, something up here is missing, and that is my goal to make $1,000 in ad revenue because that bitch dropped to the floor when I moved the bed and my son was playing with the shit because that is probably not going to happen. It is currently 7 months into the year and I haven't even made it to 100 yet. I also didn't even realize that I had memberships. Like, people were using my memberships. So I kind of flopped and fucked up there as well. And I am working on doing that better now that I'm aware that people exist and actually gifted me money and looking at it and whatnot. So yeah, I think I'll also do my first live stream at some point tomorrow. Like, instead of just using, like, I might make the cookies via a live stream. That might be it. My first YouTube live stream. But yeah, so that's my plan to prep for this New York City trip. Look at my beautiful boy. He is the world. He is the sun. Mwah. Anyway, I shall be seeing you guys. For you, it's an instant. For me, it's several hours. I ended up waking up, so instead of trying to go back to sleep because that wasn't gonna happen, I decided to cook. I also needed to eat dinner because I have not eaten since the previous day. So yeah, I used my little basket to bring up some stuff from my deep freezer downstairs. I'm also making the veggies for when I get back, and probably today because I'm doing this voiceover the day before I leave, which is the same day as this. This, instead of midnight, it's 5 in the afternoon. um, so yeah. I also decided to make some pumpkin pastries. Now, originally, I was going to bring them with me along with the cookies, and then I decided that was a lot of work and mess that I did not want to have to deal with. So instead, the pumpkin pastries are for me. I will be eating those for breakfast. The puree in the old pasta sauce jar is some seasoned pumpkin filling that I made back in the fall that I just shoved in the freezer because I was not going to be able to finish it all. And I still didn't finish it all with all that I used for the pumpkin filling. Though I did use most of it. The rest of it will just be pumpkin pancakes. It'd be what it be. Maybe a pumpkin coffee because I do have instant espresso that I do need to use that I bought specifically in case that I need caffeine but didn't have enough money for the energy drinks that I usually buy. So I'll try to make a pumpkin coffee at some point, assuming I have any more after I make the pancakes because pancakes took precedent because pumpkin pancakes taste delicious. How I make pumpkin pancakes using the puree, I'm not making it from scratch. I'm just using instant pancake mix, the just add water shit, add the puree, add the instant freaking pancake mix and mix it together. You get a crumbly sort of texture usually, and then add a little bit of water until the crumbles disappear into it being smooth, and voila, pumpkin pancakes. Now the inside does stay pretty creamy compared to if you were to just make it adding water, which is fine for 1 to 2 pancakes for me personally. So I wouldn't like make giant batches of these because the texture does get to me after a while, but if you make thinner pancakes, that tends to deal with it enough that you can eat more than one before the texture drives you crazy. But yeah. Now I'm just putting things away. You'll also see me here cutting up the pork loin that I made because I didn't realize that there was bones in it until another time that I was cutting one up to make to eat with breakfast. So I decided it might be in my best interest to just, remove the meat now. That's it. I ate soup for dinner, which you might see me starting to make now. I just scrolled ahead. No, you don't. But I do make soup, and I eat that with the pork for dinner. Okay, so first up, this shit needs to get folded. I also need a towel out of it so that I can go shower and wash my hair. So, in the Kiara must be doing self-care and prepping to fucking leave tomorrow morning. We'll be doing this. So we have clothing folded and put away. Let there be light. Sheets in the wash because those need to be washed. New ones on the bed. I just need the blankets from the wash. And excuse how horrible I look, but this is as neat as that's gonna get. So 3 tasks completed. All I need to do now is, and you're wondering why I'm not just moving with it, it's because I have my towel on and this towel is short and my mirror is right there. Those gotta go inside the recycling. That has to be put away. And by that, I mean the Walgreens stuff. Also, look at my new doll. I got her at the thrift store. She's like 100% porcelain. Someone's Meemaw passed because there was a bunch of hers there. But yeah, $11 for a collector's doll that I'm sure costs way more. But yeah, and that's that from down here. And then upstairs, I'll be making the cookies to bring with me, eating an actual meal because I got up earlier and ate like a granola bar, a Tootsie Roll, and a fruit cup, and that's not a meal. And washing my hair is what I'm doing now. Well, about to do after this video. And yeah, I also cleaned up a bit of this particular phone because I use this. Let me just show you my vision board wall so it's something more interesting to look at. I use this phone for all my recording needs, and it gets full. So I need to clean it out. I also need to mass upload a bunch of videos onto YouTube. Um, so yeah. Wow. I'm gonna go wash my hair. Okay. So we are experiencing some sad bitch hours. I lost the footage because my phone restarted while it was still recording. I didn't notice. Luckily, nothing really happened. All I did was look up my recipe. I'm going to be using the bigger, bolder baking crazy cookie recipe base dough thing because it's one of my favorites whenever I don't have anything for like a specific cookie recipe. I just went downstairs to go grab sugar and stuff, which means I need to put sugar on my list because I have a shit ton of flour. But because I don't go through sugar anywhere near as much as I go through flour, I thought I had more than I did. So thank goodness I had this one because I did not want to have to go to the store today, even though admittedly I was originally planning on doing it. Now that it's today, I don't know. But yeah. So Sandine, only thing, luckily, again, he didn't miss much because I had to go downstairs to grab flour, even though I wasn't intentional going downstairs to grab flour. So, worked out for me, I guess. But yeah, 2 cups of sugar. Also, pro tip, if you don't have brown sugar, white sugar works just fine. The only difference between brown sugar and white sugar is that brown sugar has molasses in it, which does have a nice taste to it and does make things a bit sweeter, but you'll live with just regular sugar. This is a half cup measure, by the way. My full cup measure is downstairs, permanently to be used as Logan's food, dry food scoop. So, oh, I did have sugar in here. Crap. Alright. Not a lot, though. I still would have finished stuff off downstairs, but... well, there's that. Do I need anything else? Yes, I do need flour. But yeah, I'm mixing up the 2 eggs, the melted butter, and vanilla. Now, for the vanilla, I personally don't measure. I'm one of them measure with your heart, measure with your pussy, but fuck the measuring spoon when it comes to vanilla, and I've always been that way. So there you go. This is why whenever I go to Costco, I get the big bitch bottles. Eggs. Which means I'll get to eat the last egg. Glorious. Because I've been holding on to these for when I make cookies today to bring me tomorrow to New York. So yeah. Because my bestie hasn't eaten anything from me in years at this point, and that is a travesty. An absolute travesty. So, correcting that. I mean, that's what happens when I'm going to her house. But still. I have a bunch of things that I'm doing today because I leave tomorrow. I'm only going to be gone for a day and a half, so I am also going to be making food for me to enjoy when I get back, so I don't feel tempted to order. Because no matter what state of finances I am in before I go to New York, I always come back broke. It's just the nature of things, I guess. But yeah. So I figured I'd make it easier on myself and just... there we go. Make stuff ahead of time. Last night, which you would see, I think, if I remember to record it. I don't honestly remember if I remember to record it. Me make the veg. But today I'll be making the, you know, protein, which will be chicken. Is currently defrosting. Hello, my son. You know better. Oh. He don't know how to act. He up here sometimes, I swear. Yeah. Do, 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 do. Oh, pro tip, if you are whisking something with eggs in it, break the yolk. Because you're not actually mixing it into whatever it is until you break the yolk. Ask me how I know. Bowls due to assume I'm going to use 2 bowls. So we're just going to add the salt, flour, and baking soda. Something else I don't typically measure is the salt. And that's less to do with me not needing to measure it and more to be just being lazy, to be honest. Baking soda? Yeah, baking soda. Baking soda lasts what feels like forever. Had this since college. I was very much with the peoples who were falling into the put everything in aesthetic jars trend. 10-10, don't recommend, not at all necessary. The containers that come in is good enough. Teaspoon, right? Yeah, it's a teaspoon. Is it 2 teaspoons or 1 teaspoon? 1 teaspoon. Okay, that's about it. Do the magic of cooking often. You can guesstimate. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm perfect at guesstimating how much of, a thing is. But I'm good enough that the recipe won't be ruined if I'm not exact. Like, the recipe is not going to be ruined if I'm off by like a gram or 2. Because, baking is science. Cooking is art. Baking is science. You want to argue with somebody, argue with law. I'm just going to make sure I'm still recording because now I am paranoid. Okay, we are. Good idea. Though decorating and baking is art. And I say that because you can be off by quite a bit in cooking and still get your finished product. You can't really do that in baking. It's why there's more margin for error in American baking than, say, like anywhere that uses the metric system. Because, one, baking was built around the metric system because, all these things that we do now are from countries that use the metric system. And 2, if you're not weighing it, you're not being exact. So if your recipe says cups or milliliters, not milliliters, say cups. If it says cups, then you have room for error. Because if it says grams, you need to measure it. You don't have as much room for error as you would if it says cups, because you're going to get error when you use cups, because no 2 cups will be the same. Not you breaking immediately. Bro, be so real with me. Alright. Rude. But I get it. You did what you could. Can't do no more. Fair enough. Oh, I can put this stuff away now. I bake less often, so I make sure I put the bakery stuff in the back. While keeping my cooking things as a way easier for me to hold and grab onto. Because I use those more often. I could just use my hands. You're just gonna use our hands. This will be eaten by somebody who doesn't care, but because I'm recording, I am gonna wash my hands again. And I say that because, yes, the cleanliness of everything going on around you when you are cooking is important. How important that is determined on who the fuck is eating it. If it's just you, if you don't wash your hands between every step, you're not going to die. Unless you're dealing with chicken or something like a raw meat that will, kill you through diseases. Otherwise, who gives a fuck? But if you're like cooking for other people, it is good practice to wash your hands between each step. Just, you know, be safe. And if you're cooking industrially, why your hands in the equation? Wear your gloves. Wear your gloves. Wear fucking gloves. Thank you. This shit is so soft. It feels glorious on my hands. It's so soft. But this will be in the fridge for at minimum 2 hours covered. So yeah. How are you guys doing today? Today is July 4th. A horrific day in America. If you don't know, they signed into law the big, beautiful bill, what they call it. It's actually ugly as fuck because people are gonna die because they're cutting things like CHIP and SNAP and Medicaid and Medicare, things that people need because it is increasingly more and more expensive to live in this country. It's also going to cut like hundreds of thousands of jobs, trade jobs, admin jobs, etc., due to their cuts to the clean air initiatives. So the same people who are using these programs because it is near impossible to find a job that pays you enough to live in this country also won't have work. Gosh, hate this. Yeah. So remember this when you're voting next year for your House and Senate, to not vote for people who voted to cut Medicaid and Medicare. Do not vote for people who voted to cut WIC. Do not vote for people who voted to cut anywhere from 800,000 to 1.5, I think, million jobs, if I'm doing the math correctly, over the course of the next couple of years. Because at the end of the day, they decided that their interests as billion and billionaires was more important than the interests of their constituents. Especially if you live in a Republican state, because Republicans are the people who use these services the most. Statistically, they are. Like, they're from the areas like Midwest and the South that tend to have less job opportunity, tend to have less upward mobility, and less access to things like grocery stores and well-paying jobs and living spaces and all that, and affordable living spaces and all that fun stuff. So, remember that if you're a Republican. Your representatives voted for you to live a worse life. And that's all I'm going to say with that, I guess. Outside of that, my Nana is going to be a sad girl. Sad bean. Because she wants me to go to something my uncle is hosting on August 16th, and I already bought a ticket back in April to a cosplay tea party, and I would much rather go there than to whatever the fuck my uncle is doing, considering he still hasn't talked to me since my graduation, which he barely talked to me there, over something incredibly petty that could have easily been dealt with had he talked to me like an adult. Broski, you're like 48. What are you doing? But that is neither here nor there. I unfortunately am related to a lot of petty people. I myself am also petty. So let me not make it sound like I'm above the pettiness. I am just as petty as the rest of them. But the difference between me and them is that they are grown as fuck and I am in my mid-20s. So how petty I'm allowed to be is a little more than them, all things considered, in my opinion. So yeah, I have to wait till that's done so I can marinate the chicken. I have to do it in a plastic bag after it's done melting. Anyway, that is all. I'm going to go cook myself some food because I am hungry and I haven't eaten. And yeah, we'll wipe off the counter too. These put together are an amazing combination. I like to drink ginseng. I should really just buy ginseng root and make some shots myself. But alas, ginseng root, the good shit at least, is expensive. And I do not want to be, experimenting on a $50 piece of ginseng root. So, there is that. Anyway. Oh, and take your meds. I'm gonna take mine. Like right now, actually, because I stay forgetting. And if you're wondering why it's an unmarked bottle, it's because I split my big bottle of medication into several smaller bottles that I put all around the house and my work bags and my desk at work. Because I have this terrible habit of forgetting. So, yeah. Diva Prozac, I think is what it's called, which in certain doses is an epileptic medication. I don't use it for epilepsy, but if you are epileptic, it might be something to ask your doctor about. Oh yeah, that is all. I give you all big kiss and see you later when I'm cooking because the chicken needs to defrost. And I'm continuing my getting ready to go to New York City / self-care because I have not had a day off in multiple weeks. And self-care isn't just buying things and 17.5-step face care routines. It's doing your fucking laundry. Speaking of, I need to go downstairs and switch that to dryer. It's cleaning your room. It's washing your hair. It's eating good food that is nutritious, that still tastes good. You can have nutritious food that tastes good. Believe in the power of seasoning and frozen vegetables. And all that jazz. So, yeah. Later. To me, it's hours. For you, it's an instant. So here is my son. He is enjoying being upstairs. He can't usually be up here, especially after he tore up her carpet in her room because he locked himself in my roommate's room by accident, and her room has carpet. Yeah, Broski tried to tunnel his way out and fucked up the carpet. So he's not up there often anymore, especially since he also tries to eat the other cat's food, which he's not allowed to do. So whenever I'm up here for several hours of the day, on the rare times I'm off, I'll, close her room door and let him up to exist. So yeah. Oh, and he turned towards the camera. He usually, when he realizes he's being recorded, turns away and walks away. So, rare moment of seeing his beautiful big old eyes. I said I'd share my goal setting for midway through the year, even though it was a little past midway in the beginning of the year, based off of the pictures that I put on my IRL mood board. These were the goals. No real, like, numeric anything except for, like, the YouTube payout, which is not happening. So here are my new goals for the year. I want to actively see or talk to my friends at least once a month. Especially during con season, it gets a little more difficult because everybody's so busy, but I want to go out of my way to talk to everybody at least once a month. If not, see their beautiful faces at least once a month. I want to save $10,524. Those are 3 months of my expenses, which when I had the very brief idea that I would become an electrician before realizing that I would need a driver's license to do that, that is how much I said I wanted to save so that I was able to go and do the licensing exams and all that and not have to worry about it in case I wouldn't be able to work my full-time job while doing it at the same time. We are back at the drawing board because though I don't need a driver's license to get the electrician's license in Maryland, most places will want me to have one to hire me for jobs, which is unfortunate because I can't get a driver's license because I have a twitch that comes at random. I don't know why. My psychologist doesn't know why, nor does my therapist. I should get a brain scan. Do I have time for that? Fuck no, but we'll get there. We'll put that on my list of things to do. Get a brain scan and figure out why the fuck I have a twitch, because I've had it since I was a kid. It used to only make an appearance when it was cold. Now it just pops up whenever the fuck it wants to. Though I have noticed it's worse when I'm stressed, so there is that. Figure out next career steps because I'm happy working at the company that I work at for my full-time job right now. I'm just not paid enough. Point blank period. I'm just not paid enough. And I do not want to keep having to work 2 jobs for the rest of my life. So that, and I do want to figure out what I want to do with my life because I don't know. I had this one goal for the entirety of my youth, and well, not my youth, pardon me, of my childhood, that got me through until I couldn't complete it due to falling ill halfway through college. So, yeah. I want to have at least some ideas. Currently, I have the things that I'm willing to / want to do, which is be a mortician, because it's something that I thought about when I was a kid, and I thought it'd be cool. And leg up because they tend to only hire women. So that kind of works out for me. A professional director's assistant is something that lets me be in theater. A product designer is something that I've really wanted to do, specifically dealing with either accessibility designs or specifically merch designs. We shall see. And yeah. A costume designer, specifically in either dance, mainly ballet, or theater production, because again, I yearn for the stage. So yeah, I'm just gonna go see which one is more likely able to do without having to go back to school, because I don't have the money to go back to school. The cat that I put on the mood board, I have. I'm just going to keep loving him. That's it. That's the tweet. I want to start recording how much I'm reading because I just said read more. And what is reading more? What is the base amount that I read now that I'm an adult? I personally do count fan fiction as reading material because it is reading material. I don't understand what makes you think it's not, just because it's not bound in a book. But yeah. And I just want to make it to the first $100 YouTube payout. That's it. I'll be perfectly content just making it to that first one. It'll go towards my house because I did math. If I have a 25% down payment on a $250,000 house, that is about $62.5 grand, which if I get no raise and work exactly how I'm working now, I can do in 7 years. Technically, I could do it in 3.5, but I know myself enough to know that I will be spending on random bullshit sometimes. So 7 years. So that's where that is gonna go. And yeah, that is the goose. um, I did this morning. And yes, it is just in a notebook because you don't need fancy, cute journals, even though I do have many of them scattered around, half written in. A notebook is fine. A notebook is fine. I will not allow myself to buy any more pretty journals until I get through the ones that I have. And this one is one of the journals that I have to go through. So, yeah, it used to be a book for class in college. I just ripped out those pages and used the rest of it because I barely used any of it in that particular class. So, yeah, I'm not gonna go walk around in circles and play Animal Crossing. This is your reminder to not buy the Switch 2 and to not buy from Nintendo anything firsthand because they are playing in our faces. Thank you. This is just gonna be a chatty video, huh? That was the sweet potatoes that I realized looked pretty beat up. It needed to be used, so I made mashed sweet potatoes. Now I'm dealing with the chicken because it's finally defrosted, and I very much need to get that marinated because this is also my dinner for tonight, and I'd like to go to bed soon. I've been up doing things since 7 in the morning. It is now 7 in the evening. I am tired. I wish to stop being an adult for a little bit. But alas, not an option. It's still marinating, so hopefully I remember to let you guys know how this ended up tasting. There's no reason why it won't be absolutely delicious like it usually is. I would tell you amounts, but as you can see, I am measuring with the ancestors right now. I don't know whose ancestors, but I'm measuring with the ancestors. um, anyway, that is that. Moving on to the next of the many tasks I did today. I remembered at the last minute that I had chocolate chips, so you're gonna see me add the chocolate chips in my hand as I roll it. This is not a good way to add chocolate chips to cookies. They will not be evenly dispersed. I just don't necessarily care. um, yeah. You'll also see later on in this clip me try and once again fail to make a delicious tasting ice cream flavor. I am just gonna give up on trying to make ice cream with that Ninja Creamy and just stick to using it to make my fruity frozen treats because those taste delicious. Have yet to make a good ice cream flavor and I'm tired of wasting my ingredients. So yeah. Now for the first time in this entire thing, here's some music.